What's up and welcome to the Sam Dracula channel, the Charlotte Hornets fan channel. The trade deadline is over, is past us. Now we have an idea of what this thing will look like the rest of the way and into next year. The issue is, though, there's a lot of boys on this team now. A whole lot of fellas, a whole lot of guards especially. 13 guards on this roster. With the deadline gone, now we know for sure that Lowry won't be traded and will likely be bought out, right? Probably end up going to Philadelphia, which means the Rozier trade looks a lot worse today. Right, only getting a lottery protected 27 pick for him is low key pretty brutal. So that sucks. On the flip side, with some time, I made a video about the PJ trade earlier, but that was a while ago. And just thinking about it more, we fleeced the Dallas Mavericks. We fleeced the Dallas Mavericks, getting Seth Curry and Grant Williams and a top 2 protected first round pick from Dallas in 2027. 2027 is going to be really fun. It's going to be a lot of fun with 3 first-round picks, whether the Hornets end up keeping them or flipping them for something else later, but also getting 2 real NBA players in the mix, something that this roster has been missing, real NBA role players, and now we got 2 of them, at least from that deal, and then you throw in Trey Mann and Micic and Davis Bertans. So at this stage, we have 21 people contracted to the Charlotte Hornets. We need to get it down to 18. So who's not going to make the cut? Well, let's get into it. We're going guards, forwards, centers. There's a lot of guards, so we're starting there. We got Bryce. Here we go. We got Bryce McGowan, Frankie Smokes, Nick Smith Jr., Trey Mann, Ish Smith, Seth Curry, James Bouknight, Cody Martin, Amari Bailey, Vasily Micic, Brandon Miller, Kyle Lowry, LaMelo Ball. That's it. That's all of them. All of them. All right. Okay. Start with the obvious. LaMelo. Right? Obviously, he's not going anywhere. Where's Brandon Miller? There he is. Brandon Miller, not going anywhere. Right? Nick Smith Jr., not going anywhere. Right? Cody Martin's contracted for next season. He's not going anywhere right now. We're talking about the rest of the season, right? So Cody Martin's not going anywhere. McGowan's isn't going anywhere. Micic, they just traded for. We'll get to him in a second. Lowry, he hasn't played for us yet. We'll get to him in a second. I got to assume Seth is staying. Right? Trey Mann, staying. Ish Smith, we'll get to him later. Amari Bailey is on a 2-way, so we'll sit him right there. And Bouknight, we're gonna leave him right there. All right, we're gonna leave these guys here in the maybe section. They're like in purgatory, low key, just chilling right here. I'll put Micic here because he's under contract for a while. I'm gonna promote him into the mix. Micic wasn't part of the trade earlier when I made a video on it. Like this dude, he's old. He's an older player. He's a 30-year-old guy. But that's some real credentials playing in Europe. And when you talk about like the need for adults in the room, Micic checks that box for sure, which makes guys like Ish Smith a bit redundant, respectfully, of course. I'm going to pop it right here for now. I made the text black because we're getting too crazy with all the guards, all right? We're going to keep the forwards in white, all right? So that's Leaky Black, Miles Bridges, JT Thor, and Grant Williams, and Davis Bertans, okay? So Bridges, not going anywhere this year. Right, made it a point. We'll see what happens in the summer with him. Right, Grant Williams not going anywhere. He's the PJ Washington replacement. Right, JT Thor is not going anywhere. I'd be shocked if he did. Here's a team option next year for like $2 million. He's not going anywhere. Leaky Black's on a 2-way, so that makes that easy. And then Davis Bertans, pop him right there. He's under contract next year as well. That leaves 3 spots for the centers. Now for the centers, we got Nate Mensah. We got Mark Williams and Nick Richards. We got 3 of them. Mark Williams, Nick Richards, and Mensah's on a 2-way, so that makes that easy. That leaves 1 spot in my estimation for Ish Smith, Kyle Lowry, Frankie Smokes, and James Bouknight. This rotation, this team has gotten a lot deeper and better from top to bottom. And then once everyone gets healthy, I think we'll get a real idea of what we've been missing out on or what could have been with actual veterans and actual role players in the mix along with our young stars. But that remains with Kyle Lowry, Ish Smith, Frankie Smokes, and Tilakina. Kyle Lowry, he's getting bought out. Like he's not staying around. He's gonna go to Philly. So he's out of the picture. Do they just keep Ish Smith, pop him right there? I'd rather keep Ish than Tilakina. Frankie Smokes has played 5 games for us this year. He's a goner. He has to be a goner, right? And they got Bouknight right behind him. Killian Hayes got cut today. If Killian Hayes can get cut, so could James Bouknight. So if I'm in charge here, this is what I'm rocking with. Okay, this is my crew. This is how I'm finishing out the season. I'm buying out Lowry. I'm cutting Frankie Smokes, and I'm cutting James Bouknight. And I'm going about my business looking forward to next season. Finishing out the year, this is how I imagine the starting five would be on the left side. LaMelo, Miller, Bridges, Williams, right? Bridges has turned into he's been really emphasizing scoring lately and not so much rebounding. He's a 3. Grant Williams at the 4, Mark Williams at the 5 when everyone's back, right? And then off the bench, you got Trey Mann, Seth Curry, Cody Martin, Bertans, Nick Richards, McGowan, Dish Smith, Nick Smith, Micic, JT Thor, depending on the matchup, depending on the look. Hopefully we get LaMelo back. Hopefully we get Mark Williams back sooner rather than later and get an idea of what this team is. What is it? Like, what is this team? Is this a 10-win team? No. They're not that bad, but they are. You're as good as your record is, and the record's pretty bad right now. But what do you think? What do you think of this new look Hornets the rest of the way here? Who would you cut? Who would you keep? Let me know in the comments. But this looks a lot more promising, We'll see, though. We'll see how it works out. As a whole, moving Hayward, moving Rozier, and moving P.J. Washington needed to happen. It needed to happen. This core, this group has been together for 4 years. LaMelo included into that with with Miles Bridges included in that, and Nick Richards, by the way. This group, those guys, we've seen it. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked. It won't work. They needed to shift, and this is them shifting. So all in all, I think it was a good trade deadline. This team, this franchise woke up and realized that what they were doing wasn't working and it wasn't getting any better soon. And they had to change directions. And they made a real statement today for Hornets fans, saying, listen, we're aware it hasn't been working, and now we're doing something differently. We're going forward without Hayward, without Rozier, and without PJ Washington, in the name of adding more depth, more cap space, and future picks. You can't be too greedy. I'm happy with how things went so far. Got a whole rest of the season to go here, and hopefully our guys get healthy to see what this new team is fully capable of sooner rather than later. But hey, what are you going to do? Let me know what you think about the trade deadline day in general in the comments or on Twitter @Sam Dracula. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And until next time, I've been Sam. You've been great. Peace.